Right now, local businesses recovering from flood damage when Woodman's will reopen after its roof collapsed.
And the summer tradition is back. Everything you need to know about concerts on the square. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Wednesday. I'm Kyrie Unley.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for tuning in. We have a lot to get to this morning. It's the first night of concerts on the square this season. We have been tracking those rain chances, the storm chances, and as of now, everything is on. And it's the return of one of our lovely traditions here in Madison, coming back for its 41st year.
Yeah, Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's first concerts on the square of the season kicks off tonight. So let's toss things over to our Josh Biter and meteorologist Savannah Brito. They are live on the square with more. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we're live on the square this morning. Tonight's the night. This is obviously a summertime tradition here in Madison. And, it's not too bad this morning. It's a little humid, a little cloud cover. But later today, I know all eyes are on that forecast, Savannah.
Yeah, it's going to change a little bit. I think we've got storms that we're tracking and some rain. So we'll get to all of that. I think temperatures will be okay, but it's the rain that we have to look out for. We're tracking a couple of showers and thunderstorms. It'll be fairly widespread this morning, but I know our eyes are on later today. So I think we're going to see that move in. About 3:30, we'll start to see a break, but I think we'll see another band of showers and storms move back in. Once we get to that start time around 6 to 7, I think there'll at least be isolated showers in the area.
All right, so we'll be watching. Now, News 3 Now is the proud sponsor. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington will be making the official call later this afternoon. I think they're doing a call every hour the way it sounds today. So we'll be out here. Again, you can start laying your blankets on the grass. Nothing out here right now, obviously, because just the ducks hanging out with us this morning. You can start putting those blankets out around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Remember, the streets will close at 5, so if you're trying to get downtown, it could get a little messy after 5. And then, of course, the music begins at 7 o'clock, and we're going to have our crew out here as well. Coming up a little bit later in the 608, guys, we're going to be talking to both the CEO and music director of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra about what we can expect for the first night of 2025.
Exciting stuff. I mean, it looks beautiful out there, as the Capitol Square always does, but we got those storms coming through the area tonight.
We can't miss this one.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. All right, Josh and Savannah, we'll check back with you in a little bit. So the music tonight that a lot of people are looking forward to is going to feature Motown.
That's right. And you can get ready to dance in the streets with Radiance, a powerhouse vocal quartet from Las Vegas.
Yeah, they'll be bringing the music of the Supremes, Aretha Franklin, and more to life. Also taking the stage is the WCO, of course, and a special performance of an original piece by local composer Anna Maria Reid. Concerts on the square, free, of course. Your donations, though, go a long way and are crucial. It'll take place every Wednesday night, starting at 7 p.m. tonight until the end of July.
There are a few things to keep in mind if you're heading out for concerts on the square tonight. You can mark your spot as early as 3 p.m., as Josh just mentioned. If you're bringing a chair, make sure it's low to the ground and doesn't have sharp feet. You're welcome to bring your own food, but food will be available on site for purchase. Tables can also be reserved with an optional catering service.
Service animals are the only pets allowed, plus audio and video recording is prohibited. Everything opens at 5. Music starts at 7. If you have kids, the WCO will have a booth for some fun activities.
If you're taking the car to concerts, keep in mind, some nearby streets close at 3 p.m. As you can see here on your map, 10 blocks of Main Street and Pinckney Street are both affected. The 100 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and the 100 block of East Washington Avenue will also close. You can check live parking availability on the City of Madison's website.
Want to skip the parking stress tonight? Madison Metro's Bus Rapid Transit will be run into the Capitol Square. Several routes will have detours, but they'll drop you off right near the Capitol. Those includes routes A, B, E, F, and 75.
Most importantly, as we've been mentioning, be sure to keep an eye on the weather. A decision on whether to cancel or move the show will be made by 3 p.m. today. You'll find the official update at WCOconcerts.org, as well as the WCO's Facebook and Instagram pages. If it's postponed, the concert will happen tomorrow night at 7. But if it's not postponed by 3 and weather moves in later, organizers say they might cancel, delay the start, or play a shortened version to work around the rain. So before you pack that picnic, be sure to check for updates.
This morning, the Woodman's on Milwaukee Street is set to reopen right about now. It comes after the roof collapsed a couple of nights ago during those heavy rains. and it just filled the store with inches of water. This video here, we're going to take a closer look from a shopper who was inside at the time. You can see the rain just pouring into the store from outside. Madison Fire says a couple of main roof drains were plugged with debris, and it caused a partial roof collapse here. The outside of the roof is said to still be intact. Woodman, though, says no one was hurt during the collapse, and an assessment of the damage is underway. Woodman does, they have waived their service charges for online shopping service at its store in Sun Prairie.
Woodman's is not the only business recovering from storm damage. This is what nonprofit Camp Creatability looked like a day ago. Water has partly dried, leaving mud that shows how far the flood traveled. The nonprofit provides a safe space for kids, teens, and adults with autism to enjoy the fine arts. The camp's owner says they've experienced flooding before, but this time was worse.
I wanted to cry because this is our clients' safe space. It's the place they feel comfortable with. It's their home away from home, and so for a lot of them, we just disrupted their day today, and it's a lot of dysregulation for them, and just my heart's breaking for them.
Camp Creatability aims to reopen in a temporary location by the end of the week. They have also launched a GoFundMe to help cover the financial burden.
Well, tragic news in Green Bay. A young girl has died from injuries after a tree fell on her. It happened during Monday's storms. Neighbors helped Green Bay Metro Fire get the tree off the child. Officials took her to the hospital where she later died.
Right now, the city of McFarland does not have a permanent chief of police. It's been this way for 9 months, and it will likely continue for a while. The village has been recruiting, but recently announced they are back to square one. McFarland's village administrator says the process helped clarify priorities. He says he is confident in the leadership and current direction of the police department. Hiring a new lieutenant is now the top priority.
There's other places we can be impactful in a shorter time period that will benefit the next recruitment as well. Where we're at now is just an incredibly stable department.
The village administrator says that a new police chief is expected to be hired and in place by early next year.
Former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gao will be in federal court next summer. 8 jurors will decide whether the university violated Gao's constitutional rights. The university fired him from his tenured faculty position after officials discovered that Dr. Gao and his wife appeared in pornographic videos online. Dr. Gao argues the videos were not obscene nor illegal. University officials say Gao's actions damaged the institution's reputation and could affect enrollment. That trial is set for June 22nd, 2026.
Now to national news. This week, the Senate could vote on President Donald Trump's sweeping domestic policy legislation.
Trump calls it his big, beautiful bill, but Democrats say there is nothing beautiful about it. GOP leaders are scrambling now to secure enough support to pass it with a simple majority. One sticking point is Medicaid. The Senate plan could cut it more deeply than the House version. Another point of contention among Republicans is a provision raising the state and local tax deduction cap. The bill would also extend trillions of dollars in tax cuts and raise the debt ceiling.
At the state capitol, state legislators now have the authority to require landowners to clean up emerging pollutants. This comes after the state Supreme Court ruled 5-2 in the ongoing fight over forever chemicals. These include PFAS even before they are officially classified as hazardous substances. This ruling marks the latest development in a year-long battle among regulators, environmentalists, politicians, and businesses on how to handle PFAS contamination.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are reacting to the ruling. Governor Evers released a statement that said the Supreme Court's decision means that polluters will not have free rein to discharge harmful contaminants like PFAS into our land, water, and air without reporting it or taking responsibility for helping clean up those contaminants. A comment here from State Senator Eric Wimberger, who argues the state should now act to protect landowners. It reads, the court's ruling underlines what I've been saying for years. Protections for innocent landowners are critical because the DNR can and does hold innocent landowners responsible regardless of a promulgated standard.
City of Madison officials say home energy rebates are still available, but funds are running out quickly across the state. Upgrades like insulation, heat pumps, and electric appliances could be fully covered. You may qualify for the Homes program, which offers up to $10,000 in rebates for energy efficiency upgrades. There's also the HERE program, providing up to $14,000 for electric improvements. Visit cityofmadison.com for more details. And blueberries are a delicious seasonal treat.
They sure are, but those blueberries taste even sweeter when they're funding a good cause. The Lions Club's Tom's Blueberries fundraiser is returning this summer. You'll be able to buy a 5-pound box for $25. Club members will travel to Michigan in late July and drive those berries back the same day. The exact date depends on the growing season, though. That date will be posted on social media. All proceeds benefit the Lions Club community service projects. You can buy those blueberries yourself through the link at this story on channel3000.com. Not a big fan of blueberries, we found out this morning.
Not a big blueberry fan. I like other berries, but not necessarily blueberries. But I found out that you like the bloobs.
The bloobs, as Josh Sprider and I call them when we're talking about our overnight oats. Yeah, good blueberries, you know, they're not too sweet, you know, just slightly tart. Good, the fresh ones, especially Michigan's known for their delicious blueberries. So
right.
There you go. You can help out the Lions Club. At the same time, when you get some fresh, delicious bloobs.
Yeah, I think we're hearing Josh right now.
Gotta have the bloobs.
Him and the bloobs. That's right.
Love me some bloobs.
All right, well, Josh is out on the square, getting ready for concerts on the square tonight. Hey there, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning to you once again. We're live on the square this morning as Concerts on the Square is, fingers crossed, going to kick off the 2025 season tonight. We're going to be talking to the CEO, Joe Lanus, about what we can expect coming up next, live in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
Hopefully this evening, I do think the weather could play a little bit of an impact. We will see storms and showers increase in coverage, I think, this morning and tonight. Time frame for the Concerts on the Square. I think we are going to have temperatures that are going to be warm. It'll still be muggy. That's the case already this morning, and that's not going to change going forward. We'll look at a temperature of 77 by 5 p.m., and then temperatures are not going to cool that much by 9 p.m., 72, so temperatures are still expected to be in the lower 70s. We have added alert day conditions both for today and tomorrow. First, because the potential, any storm that does form south of here has the potential of being on the strong to even severe side. Gusty winds is really the main threat, but then also because of the flooding. We had a lot of that yesterday with all the heavy rainfall, or on Monday with all the heavy rainfall, and we're going to continue to see that potential for flooding as we are tracking more heavy rain in the forecast pretty much for all of southern Wisconsin. Let's time this out on Future Track. I think that rain starts to move in southwest of here at 8 in the morning, and that'll increase. It's still expected to be heavier west of here, but we'll have to watch that. This is now 3:30 p.m., more widespread north as those heavier showers from the west move northeast, but those isolated showers that are going to sit south of here, those are the stronger ones potentially that we're going to have to watch for. I think as they move further north, they're going to be near the area, so we'll have storms in the vicinity by that Concerts on the Square kickoff time. We're watching that closely, and then a line that's going to move in later tonight. So there's very well potential for a break during that 3:30 to about 8 p.m. time frame. I think the heavier rain is going to move in overnight, aside of the heavy rain that we're tracking this morning, and then more rain tomorrow. This is our outlook for best severe weather chances. Most of the areas under marginal risk, and then a similar story again tomorrow. So any storm today and tomorrow has the potential to produce gusty winds, and then obviously the flooding that we're going to track. We have seen that Monday, and more heavy rainfall. We could see upwards of about another couple tenths of an inch of rain, and that's mainly going to be from this morning. All the heaviest rain will track in later this evening, tonight, and then again into tomorrow. Tomorrow honestly looks more like a washout than what we'll see today in the evening anyways. And then as we head into the weekend, that's when temperatures are going to be back into the upper 80s and lower 90s. So this weekend's looking pretty hot. I'm just keeping our fingers crossed that we can have some dry time and we are able to see that concert tonight kick off.
Yes,
Josh.
yes, we need to happen. We need it to happen. And, you know, I know the Ducks really like this weather, apparently, because we're getting a lot of them here this morning. Did you see them? They were kind of circling you while you're doing your forecast. Yes, yeah, oh my gosh. Too much fun.
They want it. They want the rain to stay away.
I know. All right, well, hey, we want to welcome in Joe Lanus this morning in the 608. Joe, it is so good to see you again. Good morning to you.
Great to see you, Josh. Great to be here.
So fingers crossed, we're going to hope that the show will go on tonight.
Absolutely. we are so excited to bring the 42nd season of Concerts on the Square to Madison, founded by Pleasant Rowland back in 1984. And yeah, we will hope for dry weather and get this season off right.
You know, you guys work year-round for something like this because this is such a big deal. This draws so many people into downtown.
Yeah, each summer we bring in over 200,000 people. So we're talking, upwards of 40 to 50,000 per night. And it's such a great boost to the downtown vitality, to the economic development down here, but really it's about bringing our community together through music, and we've been doing this since 1984.
And the positive vibes with this, it's the place that you want to be on Wednesday nights in Madison.
Yeah, it's just part of the DNA of Madison. I mean, when you think Madison, Concerts on the Square is usually what comes up, pops in your mind, and really the community has embraced this event. I mean, WCO, Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra, has been privileged to be the presenter, but it really is our community event, and all of your listeners and everyone that attends, they're the ones that makes this special. They're the ones that, you are the ones that keep this going.
And, speaking of that, obviously this is a free concert. Everyone can come out here, lay their blanket down, enjoy with the family, but you guys really need that support to keep this going moving forward.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's important. It's a free and accessible event for Madison, but it does cost resource to put this on. And for all of you listeners out there, if you want to help us keep this going, you can make a charitable contribution. We're a 501c3 tax-deductible organization. The majority of our funds each year come in through contributions, so you can make a small donation, a large donation. You can join the Friends of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra for as little as $5 a month, but any support out there helps us make sure we can keep this going.
When you say 42 years, that's a long time for anything, but to keep this going, to see the growth that you guys have over the years, that's pretty special and something we can be proud of here in Madison.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been in Madisonian for 12 years, and what I tell people, Madison shows up, and I think this series is emblematic of that. I think when we started in 1984, there was 5,000 to 10,000 downtown, which is a lot of people, but now we're at 40 or 50,000, and people just show up. I mean, at 3 o'clock today, you're just going to see hundreds and probably thousands of people at that time set up their blankets. So it really is something that Madison embraces. And one of my favorite things each summer is to walk around in the crowds and ask people, like, how long have you been coming? And they'll say, well, these are my grandkids, and 40 years ago, I took my kids. So this is a multi-generational music series that is really the heartbeat of Madison.
Well, the show will hopefully go on at 7 o'clock tonight. You guys will be talking with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington throughout the day to see if you guys need to call it on or off. We'll see what happens, right?
Absolutely. For those of you that don't know out there, so 3 o'clock is the latest for the rain call, whether we continue with the concert or if we move on to the rain day, which is on Thursday. So hopefully we have some good news today and we can get that downbeat at 7 o'clock tonight.
All the positive vibes, right?
It's positive vibes. That's what we do. We have music, we have positive vibes, and come downtown and enjoy a great concert.
Awesome. Well, Joe, thank you so much. Good to see you again. Appreciate it. Yeah. And again, if you'd like to learn more about Concerts on the Square, News 3 Now is the official sponsor. You can go to the story up on channel3000.com. And coming up in our next half hour, guys, we'll be speaking with music director Andrew Sewell about what to expect as far as the musical acts this 2025 season.
Yeah, the maestro himself. Good stuff. All right, now everybody's holding their breath. Watching the weather closely today to see if Concerts on the Square will happen tonight. Tomorrow doesn't look a whole lot better, so hopefully they can squeeze it in tonight. Josh, we'll talk to you all here in a little bit. Josh's always looking for cool ideas for In the 608. Got something for him? Reach out and let him know about it.
Still ahead, a new study puts milk, water, and soda to the test.
We're back right after this. Hey, we're back. So, Carrie Ann, what do you normally reach for when you're thirsty?
A nice glass of cold water.
A little H2O, some high-quality H2O. All right. Yes. Well, researchers from Scotland's St. Andrews University compared the hydration response of several different drinks and found that milk is a better option than water. In fact, a lot of things were better than water when it comes to hydration response. Researchers said because milk has fat and sugars and proteins and all that stuff, which then helps to slow the emptying of fluid from the stomach and keep hydration happening over a longer period. For what it's worth, the study also found that orange juice, tea, and soda were more hydrating than water as well. So, yeah.
Take what it's worth. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really surprised by this study. Very interesting take, I will say.
You know, milk doesn't, I got to say, when it's super hot,
That's not the first thing you're thinking about.
Milk is, it's tough when it's like, Will Ferrell in Anchorman, and milk was a bad choice.
Yes.
Well, check this out. The latest customer satisfaction survey is out on fast food joints, and once again, Chick-fil-A tops the list for the 11th year in a row. Culver's tied for 8th, and at the bottom, Dairy Queen and McDonald's. The American Customer Satisfaction Index based on more than 16,000 people. So there you go. Culver's got some work to do, I guess.
Yeah, just a little bit. Still good, though.
Number 1 in my book.
Not mad. Exactly.
We're back after this. This morning, a troubled Fitchburg bar allowed to keep its liquor license. What's next for the business?
Plus, the clock is ticking to finalize the state budget. We'll explain how it could affect child care.
And today is the day that beloved summer tradition returns. Concerts on the square. We'll have everything you need to know before you go. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us.
It's one of those Madison staples, one of our favorite summertime traditions. And fingers crossed, it's going to return tonight.
That's right. Concerts on the Square returns tonight. And we've got team coverage on everything you need to know before you go. So let's check in with our very own Josh Biter and meteorologist Savannah Brito, who are out there live this morning, getting us ready for what we need to know. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, good morning. We were so excited. We had to come out like 12 hours early, right?
Oh, absolutely. Had to be here.
It's a beautiful morning right now. It's temperature-wise, okay, nice little breeze, but it's really damp. You can feel that moisture in the air already.
Yeah, some of the grass is wet, so maybe if you're planning on coming out, couple blankets to lay down so it doesn't seep up into the blankets.
It's going to be damp for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if the show goes on, I know you guys continue to track showers and storms.
Yeah, we're tracking a couple of isolated showers and storms both this morning and during the afternoon and evening. So I don't necessarily think it's going to be a washout. Tomorrow looks actually a little worse than what we're going to see today, but there will be several times where we'll see shower activity and storms within the vicinity and southern Wisconsin. So 77 will be our temperature at about 5 p.m., 72 by 9. So temperatures won't be a problem. It'll definitely be muggy and warm, but then I do think the best chance of showers and storms are going to move in mid to late morning. We'll see a break in activity, still forecasting isolated showers though in the afternoon, early evening, and then a line that moves in later tonight. So there will be some dry time, just keeping our fingers crossed that can be that 5 to 8 p.m. time frame.
We just need all the positive energy that this is going to happen, because tomorrow doesn't look any better if it were to be delayed. So.
Exactly. I mean, next week looks a little bit better, but I'm hoping that we can get that on tonight.
All right. Well, we'll find out, Savannah. Thank you. Coming up here later in the 608 or on 645, we're going to be speaking with music director Andrew Sewell about what we can expect music-wise for the 2025 season, guys. Until then, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Josh, Savannah, thank you. Tonight's concert is all about Motown magic.
Yeah, get ready to dance in the streets with Radiance, a powerhouse vocal quartet from Las Vegas, bringing the music of the Supremes, Aretha Franklin, and more to life. They'll be joined by the WCO, plus a special performance of an original piece by local composer Autumn Maria Reed.
If you're heading to Concerts on the Square tonight, here are a few things you should know. You can begin claiming your spot on the Capitol line at 3 p.m. Any blankets left before that time will be moved. You can bring your own food and drink, but there will be food carts and vendors on site. You can also reserve a table if you prefer catering. Now, if you're not using a blanket, you can bring a low-to-the-ground chair, because chairs with tall legs or sharp feet aren't allowed on the line. Service animals are the only pets allowed. Audio and video recordings are prohibited. And if you have kids, don't forget there will be a WCO Kids booth for fun activities. Everything opens at 5 with music beginning at 7.
If you're driving downtown, remember some streets are going to start to close around 3 p.m. Streets impacted include 10 blocks of Main Street and Pinckney Street, also the 100 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and the 100 block of East Washington Avenue. You can find live parking availability right on the City of Madison's website if you need that. And if you want to skip all that parking stress tonight, Madison Metro's Bus Rapid Transit will be running downtown. The A, B, E, F, and 75 routes are headed there. They will have some detours, but they'll still drop you off right near the Capitol.
Most importantly, as we've been mentioning, if you're planning to go to concerts on the square, be sure to keep an eye on the weather. A decision on whether to cancel or move the show will be made by 3 p.m. today. If it's postponed, the concert will happen tomorrow night at 7. If it's not postponed by 3 and weather moves in later, organizers say they might cancel, delay the start, or play a shortened version to work around the rain. So before you pack that picnic, be sure to check for updates. News 3 Now is your home for all things concerts on the square.
That's right. We'll have updates online, on the air, and through the Channel 3000 mobile app. Remember, Concerts on the Square is free, but they still need those donations. It costs a lot of money to put on Concerts on the Square, and they can't do it without your help. It'll take place, weather permitting, every Wednesday night through the end of July. It all starts at 7 o'clock at night.
Yes, and our team will be heading out there for live shows over the next few weeks, so be sure to lock in right here.
That's it.
Well, let's switch gears here now. We're changing now to an update. Monkey Shine's Bar and Grill in Fitchburg will temporarily close to improve safety. Now, this decision comes after years of violence, police calls, and a homicide last month. Last night, the Fitchburg City Council voted on whether to renew the bar's liquor license. In a narrow 4-3 decision, the council approved the renewal. The bar owner presented several changes to keep the license, including a complete name change and rebrand, transforming the venue into a family-friendly environment, and moving closing time from 1:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. The bar will shut down for the month of July to make those changes. Here's what the owner had to say.
Unfortunately, the plans we put together along with the city have not been aggressive enough. We believe that this proposal of rebranding, along with the large following of loyal customers that we have, will make it possible for us to continue running.
Fitchburg's mayor says the city will continue closely monitoring Monkey Shine's Bar moving forward.
In other local news this morning, an update on a murder-suicide in Janesville. We're learning a fourth person involved in that incident has died. That shooting happened just over a week ago at Aspen Square Apartments, where police found 3 people, including the shooter, dead. Officers also found an adult with life-threatening injuries, and it was that person who died at a medical facility Monday morning. The Rock County Medical Examiner's Office has yet to release their name.
Former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gow will face federal court next summer. 8 jurors will decide if the university violated Gow's constitutional rights. The university fired Gow from his tenured faculty position after discovering that he and his wife appeared in online pornographic videos. Gow maintains that the videos were neither obscene nor illegal. University officials argue that his actions harmed the institution's reputation and could impact student enrollment. The trial is scheduled to begin June 22nd of next year.
This morning, President Trump is in Europe for NATO meetings while the Israel-Iran conflict continues. An assessment from his intelligence community says that last weekend's strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites may have only set their program back by a few months. On social media, Trump declared the sites completely destroyed. Democrats and some Republicans are now demanding answers on Trump's decision to launch strikes without consulting Congress. Classified briefings are now pushed to Thursday.
In New York, the Sean Diddy Combs trial is nearing its end. Both the prosecution and defense rested their cases. The jury has heard over 6 weeks of testimony from 34 government witnesses, including ex-girlfriends, former employees, and law enforcement agents. Combs, the former hip-hop mogul, pleads not guilty to charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering.
In New York City's mayoral race, New York State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani now leads the Democratic Party. The race will still need to be decided by ranked choice voting, which will happen for at least another week. The 33-year-old Democratic Socialist top challenger, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, has already conceded. The Democrat who prevails will face incumbent Mayor Eric Adams, who's running as an independent, Republican Curtis Slula, and at least one of his rivals running on a separate ballot line are also in the field.
In state capitol news, lawmakers face a deadline to pass the state budget by the end of the month. This budget decision will directly affect school funding, child care affordability, and whether you keep hundreds of dollars when taxes are due. Any delay in passing the budget could put classroom funding at risk. Governor Tony Evers has warned he will veto the budget if it doesn't include investments in child care.
I know we're going to make investments in trying to help make sure that parents have access to childcare. I know we are going to make a historic investment in special ed funding, and I know we're going to do some reforms at the university. Those are all things that we would love to do as part of a bigger deal. We just have to make sure it can get all the way through both chambers to Governor Evers so it can be signed into law.
If the governor and Republican-led legislature fail to agree, school districts will feel the impact starting in October.
Fitchburg's population is rapidly growing, but its plans to accommodate that growth in one neighborhood has residents pushing back. The city's most recent neighborhood plan outlines future housing, land use, and public transportation and economic goals for the Greenfield neighborhood. Folks who live there, though, want the city to leave their neighborhood alone and focus more on the development toward spaces with apartment buildings, businesses, and bus lines. They're worried that they'll have to abandon their private septic systems and pay to connect to city sewage. Also, that Greenfield's namesake, Greenfields, will be no longer.
When you take a farm and you turn it into, say, apartments, it will never go back to becoming a farm.
At the same time, the city's community development planner says it's not just up to urban and suburban areas to make space. Everyone's going to have to play a part. They added that land use and septic costs are still up in the air, but one thing is clear, that growth is coming.
A casual day boating on Lake Koshkonong nearly turned tragic, but quick thinking from one family made all the difference.
Being in the right place at the right time was lucky, but it was Eric Hughes' fast action that saved a young woman's life. Out on his family's pontoon boat last Thursday, Eric heard a loud crash. Another pontoon boat and a small boat had collided. His mom and brothers told him to jump in, and he did it. He found a woman with a severe foot injury. Eric made a makeshift tourniquet with rope, tying a double knot to stop the bleeding.
We just bought this pontoon boat Tuesday before the accident, and this was our first time out.
I think God really put us in that position on the lake at that moment for a reason.
Eric said he had no prior knowledge of how to make a tourniquet, but his quick thinking and resourcefulness made all the difference. The woman's now recovering at home. She and her family say they are grateful to everyone who helped.
What a feel-good story. What could have been tragic ended very well.
I know, right? I mean, not knowing how to make a tourniquet, you just kind of make it up as you go because you know someone's life is at stake.
Yes.
And you know, who else is going to do it? You know, do you sit around and you wait, or do you take action and you make a difference?
Yes.
And kudos to Eric for his quick thinking and his bravery.
And jumping into action. Very good. Well, let's check in with Josh, who's out there in the field this morning. Hey.
Hey guys, good morning to you. We're live in the 608 on Capitol Square this morning as we're gearing up for concerts on the square. Coming up next, Savannah's going to have the full forecast and if we can expect rain and storms. And I'll be speaking with Maestro Andrew Sewell about what we can expect for the 2025 season. That's next.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
All right, so tonight is supposed to be the first concerts on the square night of the season. We are crossing our fingers. We are praying all the things you can pray to today, yes, that it actually goes off and that the weather misses Madison tonight.
Yes, we are hoping so. Let's check in with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's been tracking this thing all week long. Savannah, what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, good morning. I do think there'll be rain and some isolated thunderstorms in the area, but keeping our fingers crossed that they stay north and south of Madison so we can kick that concert off. This is the forecast starting at 5 p.m. Temperatures are expected to be in the upper 70s. It'll be warm and muggy. That's not going to be necessarily a problem. It's the showers and thunderstorms that are going to come with that. At 9 p.m. temperatures will be around 70. Most of us are still expected to be in the lower 70s. We have added alert day conditions this morning for today and tomorrow. Any storm that's able to develop has the potential of being strong to even severe. Gusty winds is going to be the big threat, but then also we have to watch for the potential for flooding. We already had a lot of heavy rain on Monday, and we'll continue to see heavy rain today and through tomorrow, which definitely will lead to flooding in some areas, especially low-lying places all across southern Wisconsin. We're watching that. Let's time this system out. So we're expecting dry time up until about mid to late morning. That's when showers are going to increase in coverage west of Madison. I think we'll see spotty ones by about 11 p.m. or leading us to the noon hour around lunchtime. And then we could see like a break or lull in activity around 3:30 with most of the heavy rain north of here and then a few spotty showers south across northern Illinois. Those are going to travel north though, leaving us a chance of at least isolated storms and showers in the vicinity. Gusty winds and also downpours are going to be the threats then later this evening. A break then, that line looks to move in later tonight after about 10 to 11 p.m. I think that's really going to hit tonight into early tomorrow morning. And again, strong winds are going to be the threat along with pockets of heavier rain. We do have the threat of seeing a marginal low-level risk of severe weather both today and tomorrow. So that's why we put alert day conditions in place, and then also forecasting probably at least another couple tenths of an inch up to half an inch from today. Once we get to tonight and tomorrow, that's when we're going to see upwards of maybe another 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. Temperatures over the weekend are expected to get into the upper 80s, lower 90s. So we'll see dry time Friday and Saturday towards the end of that, but I do think we'll see some showers near the area, just hoping that we can see a good break where the concert can kick off and we get that first one in tonight.
Fingers crossed. I mean, you can feel the moisture in the air this morning, though. It is damp and it is soggy. Like, we don't need any more rain at this point.
No, I know. The grass is already really wet, so maybe plan on bringing like a couple towels and blankets just in case, lay a couple down.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, in the 608 this morning, of course, we are kicking off Concerts on the Square, hopefully tonight, and we are lucky enough to have music director Andrew Sewell joining us this morning, the maestro himself. Andrew, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. It's great to be here.
Yes, good to see you again. Boy, this has got to be like Christmas morning for you, isn't it?
That's a really funny way. Yeah, it's the kickoff to Concerts on the Square. Absolutely. There's always a lot of energy, and we were just discussing how you don't really get much sleep the day before, and we've got a great concert kicking off tonight. It's Radiance from Las Vegas. We're also featuring a local composer, Autumn Maria Reed, to open the concert series. And there's great charts by the Pointer Sisters, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, Donna Summer, all of the hits from Motown and beyond. It's all going to be there tonight.
You know, and obviously you guys get super excited for these 6 weeks of summer, but there's a lot of work that goes into putting something like this on.
Absolutely. So we start planning even now for next year, and we get, in fact, last September, I went out to Vegas to hear the group Radiance, and it was a fantastic show, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so exciting. So yes, it's very exciting to be here for today, to have them in town. 4 women from Las Vegas. They do a great show, as I mentioned. Yeah, so I think as we look forward to the rest of the summer, there's a lot to be had for the next 6 weeks. We've got the Concerts on the Square Independence Day celebration next week, and beyond that, some great concerts coming up.
Yeah, we have some video we want to show folks because this is a vibe. Like, this is the place to be in. Ever since you've come to Madison, you know, how has it been for you to see the excitement of just how much downtown comes alive for concerts?
Well, the crowds have grown, absolutely, and now with screens that we have, people can sit anywhere on the square now and have a good sight line to what's actually happening on the stage. So that's been an improvement. Got great sound, and now we deal with 40 to 50,000 people on a Wednesday. The parking is good. Leave plenty of time to get down here. Put down the blankets at 3 o'clock. It's a free concert. It's free, and you can get to celebrate music with your friends and family and just have a good night out.
You know, it's important that you guys obviously have it as free because you want everyone to be able to enjoy this, but there are ways that people can support you in this mission too.
Yes, we do. We have a Friends of the WCO for $5 a month. You can donate and you get updates and lots of benefits from doing that, and it's just a way you can support us on a very minimal amount, $5 a month. I mean, we pay more than that for a cup of coffee these days. But anyway, it's a great thank you for saying that. It is something that we want to keep going. We've been doing it for 42 years, and we're going to be having a bit more to say about that later in the season as a way for people to donate and support the WCO.
Well, we are fingers crossed that the show will go on tonight.
Absolutely, and you know, we just the call is made at 3 o'clock, so you know, hold tight. Weather can change, and we've also got adjustments if it has a little bit of rain before we start. We have to shorten the program. We make adjustments and all of that, but fingers crossed we'll try and get it in tonight.
Yes, we hope so. Andrew, good to see you. Thank you so much, and good luck this season. If you'd like to learn more about Concerts on the Square here in 2025, again, News 3 Now, the official media sponsor. You can go to our story up on channel3000.com and stay tuned to both News 3 Now and channel3000.com as we update you on, hopefully, Chris and Kyrie, on that the show will go on as planned tonight. I know we'll be keeping an eye on that forecast closely today.
Yeah, a lot of people will be watching that closely. I mean, there's so many different options. You know, hopefully they can squeeze it in tonight. That would be wonderful.
Yes, I have confidence that it will go on. The show will go on. Even if it has to be shortened, it'll go on. There we go. All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up in the morning sprint, Ford recalls thousands of SUVs. What to look out for?
We want to wish a happy belated birthday to Jack. Happy birthday, buddy. Hope you had a great one. We're back with the sprint next. Time for the morning sprint.
Let's check in with our Josh Bider for Concerts on the Square.
Hey guys, good morning to you. City crews out here busy this morning getting ready for Concerts on the Square later tonight. All is calm for now. Remember, you can bring those blankets out starting at 3 this afternoon. The streets around the Capitol Square will close at 5. Then the music starts at 7 o'clock tonight. There are plenty of ways for you to support the show this season. You can go to channel3000.com as News 3 Now is the official media sponsor.
Hey, if you're planning on going, make sure you are weather aware today. A decision on whether to cancel or move the show will be made by 3 p.m. today. If it's postponed, the concert will happen tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, weather permitting. Not looking good tomorrow night, though. If it's not postponed by 3 and weather moves in later, they may cancel, delay, or play a shortened version to work around the weather.
This morning, Woodman's on Milwaukee Street is now open. The store closed Monday night after its roof collapsed. Here's a video from a shopper at the time of the collapse. You can see built-up rainfall pouring into the store from the outside. Madison fire officials say 2 main roof drains were plugged with debris. The outside of the roof remains intact. Woodman's confirms no one was hurt and an assessment of the damage is underway.
Ford recalling nearly 133,000 Lincoln Aviator SUVs. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says parts could become detached from the vehicle and create a hazard for other drivers and an increased risk of a crash. The recall affects model years 2020 to 2025. Owners can take their vehicle to a Ford dealership for a repair for free.
We're tracking a few alert days today and tomorrow for heavy rain, so flooding is going to continue to be a concern. We already had a lot of that on Monday. Isolated showers and storms, some of those could be strong to severe. Strong winds are going to be the main thing today and tomorrow, and then we're finally quieting down Friday into Saturday.
Savannah, thank you. More CBS Mornings coming up next.
We're always streaming on Channel 3000 Plus.
All right, what do you say? Thank you. Thanks, Savannah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.